Okay, here's our workbook workalong. I am on page 35, and we're looking at numbers 1 and 2 and 8 and 9. Although if you're brave, feel free to try a couple more after you get these if you feel like you got it. Okay, so when I'm multiplying fractions, super easy. I don't have to do common denominators or anything like that. Think about it and think if you can remember the steps that we talked about in class. We memorized those steps in our discussion group so we could repeat it, if you recall, and we needed to do that. So with our fractions, how do we do it? Think about it. There's two steps. Multiply numerators and denominators, 5, 14, and simplify it. 5 and 14 have no common factors to divide by, so that is simplified. I'm done. Now you try number 2 and then press play after you've done it to see if you've done it correctly. Okay, so hopefully you're done with number 2 because I'm starting now. 3 times 2 is 6, 4 times 3 is 12. And now I got to do step 2. Think about, okay, step 2 was simplify. Simplify is the last step in every single fraction operation. Anytime I'm seeing fraction something, can I simplify that? Both of these are divisible by 6. 6 divided by 6 is 1. 12 divided by 6 is 2. There we go. Gets a little bit more complicated when we have whole numbers. Okay? I don't want to multiply 5 by 2 and 12 by 2 because if I did that, look what I'm really doing here. I'm really multiplying by one whole if I do that. Okay? This would get me an equivalent fraction, which you may need if you are adding or subtracting and I need to get a denominator that was different. If I wanted to get a 24 for my denominator so I could get a common denominator and add, then I would do this. Otherwise, that's not what I want to do. What I need to do is I need to change my whole number into a fraction. We talked about in class what denominator will make a whole number into a fraction. Well, hopefully you said 1 because we've been talking about all week 1 is wholes. Just like up here, 2 is halves, 3 is thirds, 1 is wholes. This is 2 wholes. Now I can multiply it just like we did the other ones. 5 times 2, 10. 12 times 1, 12. And of course, with every single fraction operation, I'm always thinking I need to simplify that. 10 and 12 are both divisible by 2. 5, 6. Boom. There we go. Alright, now you try number 9. Remember to change it and hit play to see if you did it correctly. Okay. Change my whole number to a fraction. Multiply numerator, numerator, denominator, denominator. 30 over 5. This got me an improper fraction. I need to fix that. The best way to fix that would be through division. My numerator goes in the house, and I'm seeing how many times can I take 5 out of 30. 5 goes into 36 times, which means that my answer is 6 because I don't have a remainder. If I did have a remainder here, my remainder would become part of a fraction. Okay? In this case, we don't have to worry about it. But later on, we'll have to figure out what to do with that remainder. And we talked about it in some of the classes. So every 5 pieces is a whole, 30 pieces, that's 6 wholes because you have 6 sets of 5. All right. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you in class.